Molweni, Sanbonani, Dumelang. We are going to officially open this gathering by singing the national anthem. Can we then all stand up? Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure from the National Assembly. My name is Nolita Ntobongwana, the chairperson of this portfolio committee. I'm with the members of the committee who will introduce themselves, starting from my right.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Samantha Graham-Murray. I am a Democratic Alliance Member of Parliament, and I'm from Graaff-Reinet in the Eastern Cape. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Is it on? No, it's not. Okay. My name is Madeleine Hickman. I'm also a Democratic Alliance Member of Parliament, and I am from Midrand in Gauteng. Thank you so much for joining us today. Whatever.
We would like to appeal to everyone who is here. We have invited you all to come here. So one of the ground rules, as much as the members have not introduced themselves, and in all the meetings that we have been, since we started last week, 4 venues in Limpopo, 1 in yesterday in Bushbuckridge. All political parties were there, but there was no booing. So we appeal to all that are here. We must listen to everyone who is talking, because we are going to listen to you when you are talking. Please, no booing.
Sanibonani, igama lami Elfaso Mathebula, ngilunga le-Parliament, ngimele inhlangano yabantu i-African National Congress. Ngibuya khona la eMpumalanga. Ngiyabonga.
Sanbonan, I'm Tim Mashele, member of the ANC deployed in National Assembly. We are Bushbuckridge. Nyabo.
Sanbonani, igama uLindiwe Mjobo, ngisuka kwaZulu Natal, ngilunga laleli committee, ngideploy African National Congress. Yabo.
Sanbonani lo khulumayo nguMathapelo kaSuwisa, public rep ye-EFF National Assembly, lungu le Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure, originally from Northern Cape, Kimberley.
There's another member, you will join us soon. He was here, maybe he's just outside. We are also joined by members of the provincial legislature that are here with us. I will introduce them. They can stand up where they are. We have Honorable Gina Mfukeng, who is member of the provincial legislature of Mpumalanga, representing EFF. Thank you. We also have Honorable Ntsako Mkabela, who is the member of the provincial legislature in Mpumalanga, also EFF. We have Honorable Trudy Grovi Morgan, who is the member of the provincial legislature in Mpumalanga, representing DA. Ginam Fogeng is also the provincial secretary of the EFF in Mpumalanga. He has gone. We'll give it to her. Okay. We have a comrade Pazamisa Mate, who is the secretary of the region that we are in, of the ANC. We will introduce others as they come in.
Sanibonani, igama lami ngumthokozisi Nkululeko wakanxumalo. Ngiyilunga lenkatha yenkululeko yesizwe. Eyilunga leParliament lase Cape Town Deputy Whip. Thanks, Chair.
Also, we are with the team from Parliament, from the Portfolio Committee, from Security, from Communications. But we have been joined by officials from Department of Public Works and Infrastructure in the province. If you can just raise your hands where you are. And also officials from COGTA in the province. Thank you. Thank you. We are gathered here as the Portfolio Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure to seek your views on Bill number 23 of 2020, the draft Expropriation Bill, which was referred to us as the Portfolio Committee by the Speaker. The department had presented it to the Cabinet and then referred it to the Parliament. The first step that we did as the Portfolio Committee was to invite written submissions. That process has closed now because we invited written submissions from the 10th of December 2020. The last day was the 28th of February 2021. And then on the 24th and 25th of March, we then had a virtual meeting in which we were listening to stakeholders, presenting their oral submissions on the view of whether they support it or do not support it, and the reasons that they were bringing to the table. Today we are here. This is the second province that we are visiting for views through a process that we call public hearings. So what we are expecting from you is to comment on the draft bill. I think it has been out since last year, and when you were coming in, you were also given that bill. We want you to comment whether you support it, and you state the reasons why you support it, you do not support it, why. This bill that we are bringing it to you, it's the Expropriation Bill, which seeks to repeal the Expropriation Act number 63 of 1975. An Expropriation Act that is being used now, that is before you. We have invited all the stakeholders, the Amakosi tribal councils, all the political parties, civil organization, organized labor, and individuals to come and present their views. The ground rules are that we need to respect each other in these meetings. No one must humiliate or make someone feel small when that person is speaking. We are all equal, so please, no shouting, no booing of any speaker. If you don't agree with what that speaker is saying, as the people that are sitting here, we want to hear all the views, because after we're done with all the provinces, we will then consolidate the report from the written submissions, the oral submissions, and these views from the public hearings that we are currently conducting. So if maybe you're making noise when someone is not speaking, we won't be able to hear what that speaker is actually saying. So I'm appealing to everyone who is here. We respect anyone who is speaking at the time. You are only given 3 minutes to speak. Once the 3 minutes over, we indicate to you and tell you that your time is up. Lastly, we will then point to those that want to speak. If there are any people that are outside, because we always have to respect and observe the health protocols. We will then ask our team of security, after we are through with all those that want to speak in the hall, ask in a group of 10, those that are outside, to come in and express their views. Because we don't want, can you please lower your hand? Thank you. Because we don't want them to be left out when they wanted to bring their views here. Sometimes we have to understand that when we present what we are presenting, we are not inviting discussions. Can I please repeat that? When we present what we are presenting, we are not inviting discussions. Thank you. I am now going to point to those that want to speak. We will start, maybe take 3 rows at a time, but only 10 people will be allowed to speak. Okay, thank you. I've been made aware that there was someone who is going to interpret all that I've said. I will allow her to come in, and then after that, we will take hands. Thank you.
Sanibonani. Nongeleleni lapha endlini. Testing. Ngiyanibingelela nongeleleni lapha endlini namhla. Ligama lami nginolitha Ntobo Ngwane. Ngisihlalo wekomiti yahulumende yemsebenzi yahulumende netakhiwo ncandi, Public Works and Infrastructure. Ngingusihlalo waleyo komiti leyo lelivakashele la namuhla lelimemile nonke njengoba nilapha. Umsebenzi ke wale portfolio committee lo lena kuthi sitolalela timvo nemibono yenu mayelana nalomthetho wekuthathwa kwempahla ithathwa nguhulumende ayinikete umphakathi kumbe ayithathele letinye tidzingo tahulumende. Lo mthetho lona ke siuniketwe ngusomlomo eParliamente emva kokuba wethulwe embi kweParliamente wethulwa indvuna yelitiko letemisebenzi yemphakathi, Public Works. Wabe sewusiniketa yona ke lo mthetho sivivinyo lo ukuthi siuqhubele phambili utawugcina seungumthetho weParliamente. Ngicela ukuchaza ke ukuthi kunetinyathelo lesetendekile sesigaba sesithathu lesi sanamuhla. Sigaba sekuqala lokwendekile ngalomthetho sivivinyo lona. Kuthi emva kwekuthi wethulwe eParliamente lo mthetho lesabe sesimema umphakathi ongane ukuthi babhalele lelikomiti basho timvo tabo netimfuno tabo ngalomthetho nangembala kwendekile lokho seyivaliwe ke leyo ngcubo leyo. Ingcubo yesibili le bekhona simeme sende umhlangano ngaloku lebathi yiZoom ngoba lamalanga ngenzaba ya COVID sisakhona ukuhlangana. Sibeke nayo umhlangano lapho besimema abantu ukuthi bete bakhulume ngemlomo, batokhulumela ngemlomo bangabhali. Bakhulume ngemlomo basho timvo tabo nale bafisa ukubona kulomthetho sivivinyo. Namuhla ke sesigaba sesithathu. Lesigaba sesithathu lesi ngila sihamba khona tindzawo letahlukene lesifundza lesa seMpumalanga sesifundza sesibili lesivakashelako lapho sifike khona simeme umphakathi waleyo ndzawo kumbe ummango kungaba abantu basekuhlaleni kungaba tinhlangano temacembu epolitiki kungaba baholi bendzabuko nebantu phaca labamukelekile ukuthi bete sihlangane nabo njengoba sihlangene lapho ke khona ngiloyo naloyo lokhona utabe uyasho ukuthi yena uva njani yini lakufunako ukubona kulomthetho lona lo mthetho ukuthi ihulumende athathe impahla yemuntu ngoba kunesidingo emphakathini kumbe hulumende unesidingo lesithile la ithathela kona. Manje ke ngiseselapho ngicela kuvakalisa ukuthi njengoba nilapha nje nimenywe ngithi thine simalunga aleli komiti lelibuya eParliament. Umthetho ke wokuthi phatha la eKhatsendlini ukuthi sonke sitawuhloniphana sitawunikana lithuba lekukhuluma akunandzaba ukuthi ukukhuluma bani. Umuntu masukumile akhuluma asho timvo kumbe imibono yakhe. Asitiphatseni kahle, asingamhewuli loyo muntu, asingamemeti kumbe sifune kumvala, sikhombise kungahloniphani. Noma ngabe asivumelani naloko loyo muntu la kukhulumako, akusiyo indlela yokuvakalisa luvo lwakho lo. Tsine njengoba siyikomiti la sifuna kuva timvo tenu nonke, akusho lutho ukuthi ningibobani. Ngiyethemba ke ukuthi sitawuhloniphana kanjalo.
Thank you. We'll then ask you to raise your hands. Row 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're taking the first row, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Okay, it's going to be our number 1, and then you come here, and then number 2, yes, that hand, yes, number 2, number 3, number 3, no, the one next to you, number 3, yes. No, siyama ngokwe row ne. Number 4 at the back. Thank you. Sicela siyabala. So uba comrade ka Congolose uzawucula. Sawifaka kule mizuzu yakho. Lonto. Thank you.
Ya ngibonge ligama lami ngiphazamisa ngAbraham Mathe, limember le African National Congress la Ehlanzeni region. Ngifuna kusho ukuthi ngimele inhlangano ye-African National Congress ngiyawusupporta lo mthetho ukuthi umhlaba ubuyele etandleni tebantu. Lokhu ngesilungu sikubitwa ngokuthi i-Expropriation Bill. Ngi-infonywa i-Freedom Charter ya 1955 ngaphansi kwe-clause lethi the land shall be shared among those who work it. And the majority of the people who are sharing this wealth are us as the Africans in South Africa. And we are not apologetic about that. Chairperson, as the representative of the African National Congress, the ANC supports the expropriation of property and land as a just and equitable process to restore the dignity of our people, the access to property, land, and that expropriation of such without compensation is part of that process. For the ANC, this is about redressing historical injustices and dispossession of the black majority. It is also a vital opportunity to unlock growth, redistribution assets, and promote socio-economic transformation. The ANC's program provides a way to address the land question and build the productive assets for our people. We are guided by our 54th National Conference resolution, which states, I quote, Expropriation of land without compensation should be among the key mechanisms available to government to give effect to land reform and redistribution. We submit that in line with the Constitution of the Republic and the property clause, the Expropriation Bill is the draft law of general application that will allow, under certain circumstances, expropriation of land, expropriation of property and land without compensation. We support the Expropriation Bill 2020 so as to redistribute property, land, to address the centuries of old national grievance of land and property, forced dispossession. We support the framework in the bill in line with the Constitution to guide the process and procedures for expropriation
Time
of
is
property, including land by
Time is
organs of state. Thank you.
Greetings, Chairperson of the committee. My name is Eric Masugu. I'm from Ward 18 here in Mbombela and a member of the EFF. Chairperson, I'm standing here to support the cardinal pillar number 1 of the EFF of expropriation of land without compensation for equal redistribution. Chairperson, I do not understand why Parliament is spending money on this process when there's a process to amend the Constitution, and then after amending the Constitution, this committee must bring as legislation informed by the Constitution. Chairperson, I remember the committee came here twice already, and all those public hearings on the question of land, we told members of the Parliament to go and amend the Constitution to allow for expropriation of all land without compensation into the custody of the state. Chairperson, we are concerned that the expropriation bill that you want us to make input on is a legislation that must tell us that the Constitution allows for expropriation of all land without compensation. This is how the state is going to expropriate land. This is how the land is going to be distributed equally to everyone. And this is how the right to use the land is going to be protected. But since you are here, Chairperson, in your committee, we must tell you that our position remains the same. We want all the land to be expropriated without compensation. This is the only way we can address colonial land dispossession and legacy of apartheid. We did not give Parliament a mandate to find ways to pay for that land that was stolen. Our land is not a commodity and should not be for sale. Expropriation bill is an unnecessary distraction, and we see it as a way to hijack the real struggles of black people and will not solve the challenges of land. The money that is available to pay for land must be given to black small-scale farmers. Black people in South Africa need their land to farm, build houses, build businesses, and expropriation is not going to help us in doing so, any of these things. So there's no legislation that is above the Constitution. I thank you.
Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Henny Becker. I am a district coordinator for AfriForum in Mpumalanga. AfriForum stance is that the expropriation bill cannot be adopted, seeing it as its adoption will have a devastating impact on all South Africans' lives in the context of home ownership, food security, and economic stability. Various sections of the bill are also unconstitutional. The bill's expropriate now and argue later approach is a complete consolidation of government power to confiscate property without judicial oversight. Lawmakers are currently sitting with their finger on a red trigger that will ruin the economy, cruelly deprive citizens of their property without judicial oversight, and also destabilize the banking sector. The bill is not restricted only to farmland. It extends to all forms of property, which includes vehicles as forth. The bill will not right the wrongs of the past as the government claims, but rather it will only further the wrongs to be committed in the present. The purpose of this bill is to give the government the unrestricted power to be able to confiscate property, simple as that. The government says that expropriation without compensation is needed so that more black South Africans can own property. This is not true. The truth is that the government wants to own all property in South Africa and wants to give access to the land mainly to the politically connected. The ANC's public statements and policy documents show that the end goal is for the government and not the people to own the land. Look no further than the fact that only 6.3% of the land bought by the government has been transferred to private ownership. Expropriation without compensation shows a lack of respect for the property rights as basic human rights. The land reform debate is raging at a time when the government cannot afford to lose investor confidence. A tax on private property leads to investors' uncertainty and economic decline, which will worsen unemployment. Those who want to destroy property rights have not yet provided evidence that an already unsuccessful policy will lead to anything but a more aggressive failure. The government tries to justify expropriation without compensation by saying it is a necessary step to undo historical injustices, but it ignores the fact that land restitution programs, which has been in place for more than 25 years, which has provided 1.8 million black South Africans with compensation. The Restitution of Land Rights Act of 1994 makes it possible for people to submit claims of land that had been deprived as a result of racial discrimination, such as forced removals of land claims have been for urban and rather than rural land. Over 90% of those that had submitted claims indicated that they were only really interested in owning farmland and that they would rather, they weren't interested in owning farmland and they would rather want money as compensation. The government has already spent more than 15 billion rand on land reform with very little results. The Mkhuhlu Commission has found that the government inefficiency and corruption is the major causes to failure in land reform. Not only are the figures of what land are often used inflated, the problem is that the government is dedicated to reducing the amount
Greetings to you all. Greetings to the chairperson of this committee. My name is Gert Sibande from Ward 41 at Mchinda. Chairperson, we do not understand why Parliament is spending money on this process when there is a process to amend the Constitution, and thereafter amending the Constitution, this committee must bring as legislation informed by the Constitution. We made our submission in 2 Parliament public hearings on the land question, and we told members of Parliament to go and amend the Constitution to allow for expropriation of land without compensation into the custody of the state. We are concerned that the expropriation bill that you want us to make input on is legislation that must tell us now that the Constitution allows for expropriation of land without compensation. This is how the state is going to expropriate land. This is how the land is going to be distributed everyone equally. And this is how our right to use the land is going to be protected. But since you are here, you must know that our position remains the same. We want all land to be expropriated without compensation. This is the only way we will address colonial land disposition and the legacy of apartheid. We did not give Parliament the mandate to find a way to pay for land that was stolen. Our land is not a commodity and should not be for sale. The expropriation bill is an unnecessary distraction, and we see it as a way to hijack the real struggle of black people, and it will not solve the challenges of the land. The money that is available to pay for the land must be given to black small-scale farmers. Black people in South Africa need their land to farm, to build houses and build businesses, and expropriation bills is not going to help us in doing any of these things. No legislature is above the Constitution. Amanda! Amanda! Down, the forum, down!
Allow me to say all protocol observed. I'm standing here to emphasize that we are making no apologies when you say the expropriation of land without compensation must be happened. My name is Comfort Bongani Kumalo. I'm the deputy chairperson of COSAS. I'm also the African National Congress member. We are saying umhlaba mawubuyele tukwabantu abamnyama so that batokhona ukuthi bakhele abantu abakezi tikolo kude tikolo umhlaba ubambiwe kule ward monopoly capital umhlaba mawureleaswe so that abantu abamnyama batokhona ukuthola access to lo mhlaba sikhona ukusakhe tikolo ngivabhlungu kakhulu futhi ngalendo leyendekile Komatiport. One of farmers shoot our black people. Ngiyafisa ukuthi justice umthetho ingawuthatha kube setandleni tawo. Baboshwe lamabhula ende lo. Amandla. Awethu. Thank you.
Ligama lami ngibongani Khumalo. Ngifuna ukusho ukuthi sitiva sinelicala thina futhi asixolisi ngekuthi sifune umhlaba ukuthi ubuyele etandleni ebantu labamnyama. Sifuna ukuthi umhlaba
we would like you to translate to us in English.
I beg your pardon. We would like the land to be released to black people so that they can build schools.
Bongani of COSAS spoke both in English and whether Swati or please, just, can you lower your hand? Can you please listen? Yeah, Puti, can you please listen? Please, 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 please. Can you please lower your hand? Yes, lower your hand. Thank you. As I indicated earlier to those that were not here, as this portfolio committee, we are noting, we are writing all that you are saying to us. Because after we are done with all these meetings, we are going to sit down and discuss all your views. One of the reasons we asked the parliament to provide us with interpreters is because much as there are 11 official languages, we don't know all the 11 official languages. We apologize for that, but the reality is that we don't know. So if Bongani speaks Siswati, ma'am, who is interpreting here, is not going to be part of our portfolio committee when we discuss this. So we want to know what Bongani said. No, please lower your hand. We're not going to discuss this. Please, please. So again, can you please, members that have decided to attend this meeting, respect us when we ask the interpreter to please interpret so that we write what Bongani said. Please. Thank you.
Kulaba mhlawumbe lebe bangakafiki ekuqaleni uma nginibingelela no. Oh. To continue with Bongani Khumalo's remarks, we need the land to be released to black people so that they can utilize it, so that they can build schools and live on the land. I was very upset and saddened to hear about a white farmer somewhere in Komatiport who shot dead a black person. I hope that the law will take its course and that that person goes to jail, goes to prison for shooting a black person.
Amandla, awethu, mornings to the house at large. My name is Bonkosi Lukuleni, a good member of the African National Congress in good standing from Babatone Mchindini. We are not even ashamed of what we are going to say. There is no amount of money that is going to be paid to any person who wants to sell the land. Because, comrades, we need that money for our education. We didn't like what took place earlier this year. So there is no amount. The chapter 5 must not be part of this bill. We don't need chapter 5. That speaks of any amount that should be given to any willing buyer or willing seller. Because if that person is not willing to sell, it means we're not going to have the land. We want the land. In fact, we need the land as agent. This matter of 30 days in negotiating about the land or not negotiating about the land, it's a waste of time and money. We want our land with immediate effect. We as youth of South Africa, we are the most affected group that needs land to do agriculture, to build our own house. It's not like we are failing to build our own houses, that we need RDPs. We need lands to build our own houses. Now, if you want to buy maybe a small portion of stands, it's too expensive because there is no land. We must share it amongst us. So we need that amount, that land, and we're not even ashamed, we're not even apologetic. We want our land, we want to use it for different reasons. So these things of discussing, having these such gatherings, it's a waste of time and money. We need our land as agent. Amandla.
Amandla. Oye ni socialist umhlaba wonke esandleni sabantu. Akunamuntu ophatha umhlaba eyedwa. Oye no socialist.
Awuvumelekile ukucula. Uma uyacula sizokuthatha u3 minutes wakho. Ubu uyacula sizothatha lo 3 minutes wakho, but you are not allowed to sing. Please.
Ngiyabonga kucula isiphatho okudlulisa le message ngifuna kuyidlulisa. Umcini isihlalo lo ngaphambili. Ngifuna kusho ukuthi sisaqala le process angaphathekanga kahle. Uma nenda interpretation that ngiyo lenzaba mhlaba namuhla nina chapter 5 la. Nifuna ukudiscussa chapter 5. Bafike basasa mhlaba bangena endzaweni emhlabeni yethu. Namuhla sinakudiscussa ukuthi sifuna babhadale malini kwenakalani. Kungoba namuhla uma ngikhuluma sindu nithi nifuna ukwenza lento ukuthi niyahumusha. Ufike la wakhuluma lo mmele lathi ubamele Afroforum. kude la nisukume khona nasichazela thina lesikhuluma sintu kuthi uthini kodwa uma ngikhuluma mina ngesintu nifuna kubachazela bona sikolonizwe ngebantu la ekhaya nani futhi namhlanje sisifuna zamhlaba wethu nifike nosikolonize kunenkulumo la sifuna kusho khona ukuthi sisimhlaba asinalo luvalo lokuthi umhlaba wethu siyawufuna sishilo ku freedom charter phambilini uma sithatha lo mhlaba kuthi umhlaba kufuna ubuyele kubantu bawusebente bende ngalendlela loba kulumhlaba lophila ku nanamhlanje lokho ngingimabandla wakathela from 129 kaMsogwaba la kubusa khona bukhosi la namuhla bukhosi busetshenziswa butshelwa ukuthi uma abantu kufuna kube nama PTO kodwa emadolobheni la kuhlala abantu belumbi labamhlophe baba nama title deed ba-ona mhlaba then that is why namuhla sitokhuluma ngokuthi chapter 5 i-freedom charter ithi umhlaba awubuyele ebantwini ngiloko namuhla kunengcenye yebantu lekhuluma ukuthi Nelson Mandela akangazange wakhuluma ngemhlaba. Nelson Mandela spoke about the freedom charter. Freedom charter speak about the land shall be distributed among to those who live on it. Laba labaqhamuka diqashi angeke disitshe njengakhamba indoda itokulawula ikhalakho senamuhla uthi wena indoda ufuna ikutshele ukuthi ngubhadala malini ukuthi uqashela kami. Hayi asiyoqiniso lelo sithi umhlaba wethu kahle kahle ngabe le mali leniwestako la bantwana emavasithi kuswelakala imali sifuna imfundo le makhaya basithole ngimvile kancane ubala ukuthi kudla nani nani basithola silima thina besidla idudfu siqinile namuhla sebakhona kwena njani sebakhona ukuthi basidlise inkukhu nayo ngayona la ngiyabonga umhlaba awe wethu amandla.
My name is Mabandla Tsela. I want to say at the beginning when you interpreted our language, we were not happy. We're not happy. When I want to speak my language, you want to interpret me. You want us to speak a foreign language, whereas when others are speaking their language, you want to interpret us. The Freedom Charter said, the Freedom Charter said we want our land. Actually, what she said,
got a problem with interpreters.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Blanculo, one of the members of the A residing in Ward 24. I do not support that the government can expropriate land without consulting whoever invested in the land. I do not support that government should own the land in South Africa or any.
Can you please pause? When we were presenting the ground rules here, we indicated that as the portfolio committee, we want to hear each and every view that is presented to us. And if there is a speaker on the floor, there are people howling, there are people booing, we then have a challenge of hearing what the speaker is saying. We want to appeal again, because even yourself, when we are here, we will listen to you. And really, I want also to take an exception today, because we've been to Limpopo, maybe because we're with the leadership. No one was booing anyone there. All ANC, EFF, DA, civic parties, and all that. Not a single person booed anyone who was speaking. We are appealing to you. Don't do what you are doing. You have your own view. You are going to present it when you are here. Let the person who is speaking speak his or her own view, or his or her own political party view. Can we please respect each other? Continue.
I do not support that the government can expropriate land without compensating whoever invested in the land. I do not support that government should own the land in South Africa or any property that people invested their energy, money, expertise at their own cost. Government should govern and not hold us ransom by threatening to take what is rightful ours. South Africa belongs to the people who live in it. Therefore, transfer property to the people of South Africa and not to government. When it is with government, it can be taken anytime and used for whatever. The job of the government is to develop, manage, maintain infrastructures to all citizens and not to own it. The people should own it. It should be transferred to the people. People pay taxes to the government to manage and maintain services, but not to take what is not for the government, and that is the land and property which has been developed and paid for by the people. All land and property should be owned by the people so that people can create jobs and drive the economy. Government has no business in the economy. We, the people, are business, and we would ensure that we have a stable economy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Faith and I am a member of the DA. There is this saying that says South Africa belongs to all of us who live in it, which is not true at all. It's just a saying. I am living with my mother and father in the rural areas where we have to approach the local chief for permission to reside in his area. We do not have water, we do not have proper roads, we don't even have jobs at all. We need jobs in our own land where we can do anything. It is our right. Where should we go if our own government takes the land and give it to someone else? We do not want the government to own the land. It is ours, not the government.
time and given to someone else. I was shocked that a number of black farmers in Mpumalanga who were farming for 20 years or more on land that was given to them during restitution were recently removed by were removed from the farms by the DLA because government wants to give the farms to someone else. We have neither water or proper roads, sewer or electricity in our houses in the rural areas. But yet we're still not allowed to own the land. Why? After more than 25 years in power, the government has not transferred the land on which we reside to us. We need service side to be transferred to us in full ownership. We do not want the government to own the land because this government takes the land in which black farmers have invested their energy, money, time to bring it into production without compensating them. I do not support expropriation without compensation. I thank you.
Thank you to all the speakers. We were going to start in this row. Yeah. Can you please raise your hand? If we have passed that row, and maybe unfortunately you were not in when we were pointing to those people in that row, can you please move to another row? Because we're not going to go back to that row. Okay, you are number 1 there at the back, yes. Number 2, yeah. No, we are in that row, yes, yeah, you are number 2. When I've pointed you, please come forward. No, I've not pointed to that one. Number 1 is this one, number 2, the gray t-shirt, number 3, the white t-shirt. Yes, you are number 1. You are number 1, he is number 2, the lady is number 3. That is number 2, yes. We are still in this row. What? Yes, he's number 2, he must come in front. I have not yet pointed to you. I have not yet. Yeah, Isa Puti, Isa. And then we are still in this row. Any hand in this row? See, if you want to speak, please raise your hand. You are number 4. So there's no other hand here. I'm coming to this row now. You are number 5. Is number 5. Any other hand in this row? None. And then I'm coming to this one. You are number 6, yes. In front of you, number 7. Number 8. That is number 8, the one that you are pointing to. Number 6, number 7, number 8. Number 9, number 10. And then we will come to this row when we start another round.
Understand why Parliament is spending money on this process when there is a process to amend the Constitution, and then after amending the Constitution, this committee must bring a legislation informed by the Constitution. But since you are here, you must know that your position remains the same. We want all land to be expropriated without compensation. This is the only way we will address colonial land dispossession and the legacy of apartheid. We did not give Parliament an mandate to find ways to pay for land that was stolen. Our land is not a commodity and should not be for sale. The expropriation bill is an unnecessary distraction, and we see it as a way to hijack the real struggle of black people and will not solve the changes of land. Lana kahle kahle ngitele ukuthi ngitosho ukuthi siyeva ukuthi lo mhlaba lo mthetho so amendiwe. Njengoba uamendiwe siyaqela ukuthi vele nisendele letindvo ngalendlela sitifuna ngayo. Kunalenkuve kukhulunywa ngichairperson la. Ngabona ukuthi kahle kahle lana shothi kunalesifihlelwa kona. Yesi siyatshela ukuthi itindvo sitowendelwa but nase kufanele tendeke letindvo atendeki. Lana sitholakala thina sivele simnyama sivalelwa even elwimini lwethu sivalelwe ngaphandle. Ubona kahle kahle ukuthi thina sisodvana singile sivele simnyama singaze sithathwe sibekwe lapha siyaguquka sibe singiloku lesingiko ngani ngobe sithathe amandla ethu lesinikete wona bese sisebenzisa wona. Uma sikhuluma lapha siyaqinzetela nathi nesodvana angema umuntu akhuluma uyati ukuthi njengoba eme lapha sitamlalela futhi utasendisa ngani ngobe ubekwe lapha sesiyadibuta ukuthi sizizivele simnyama ngabe sitakuthola ile lesikufuna ko. Ngiyabonga.
Before you speak, can you please assist us? Thank you.
Sanbonan.
I beg your pardon. My name is Poppy Nkosi, but I will not go over what Poppy has said in English. I will just cover what she said in Siswati. We are aware that this act has already been amended. However, there is something that worried me, I was concerned about when the chairperson made certain remarks earlier. It looks like there is something that is being kept away or hidden from us as black people. Now, it goes, it's the example thereof is that when we speak in our languages, or we are not free to speak, to use our languages, this means that even those people who lead us, they are not doing us any good, because we tend to oppress or suppress each other among our own selves. So my question is, as black people, where are we headed if we are going to be subjecting each other as black people to oppression or suppression?
Sanibonani endlini. Sihlalo nelithimba lakho ngiyanibingelela. Ngibingelele nebukhosi lobukhona endlini. Ligama nginguDavid Innocent ngwakamnisi. Ngiqhamuka eMjindi ngirepresenta EFF kumjindi zone. Asiketanga lapha kutomosha isikhathi sitekta uvuma sithi kini bekunene hambani nibuyele eParliament. Negele kumosha imali yesive sona public hearing umhlaba awubuyele kubantu bawuntshontsha bongqondo olukhuni bawuthatha wabulala bogogo wethu nabomkhulu wethu sicela umhlaba ubuyele ebantwini kude sitawukhona kwakhelwa tikolo sakhelwe tibhedlela sakhelwe nemigwaqo sitawukhona kuhamba sitawukhona kufama sithi le mali lekhona sicela ingapheki umoshwa akuyothenga ngayo lo mhlabathi labawuntshontsha akuthathwe le mali kufakwe kwebantwana besikole emanyuvesi kufakwe la kuma black pharmacy kufakwe nakubantu labafuna abantu labamnyama abafuna ukuvula emamayini sicela nento enjalo bekunene ningaloku nibhizi yinga la sicela nento enjalo bekunene sicela umhlaba ubuyele ebantwini liPhalamende lingaloku liphekuya lena le nibhizi ma-hearing ma-public hearing ekugcineni ndawugcina nishana ngetitulu nodwana ngale mali enipheka uyintshontsha la nibhizi ma-public hearing nani ekugcineni kutaba nyalo i-public hearing kutaba ne-commission ukuthi sendlethe imali ngakupheka nzinza ningathi nzinzani la siyacela bekunene sicela umhlaba ubuyele ebantwini bathi male mangithume ngiyabona bayesaba ukhuluma nabongqondo olukhuni sithi umhlaba ubuyele ebantwini sicela bomake nani bobabe etiphatha imandla njengoba nihlete ePhalamende nanihleti ninatha lamatiya nani lePhalamende nendeleni kwendawo nishabo chezi nendeleni kwendawo sicela ningayile naleni batshele ukuthi mnisi mvuleni gwadla wasebukhosini uthi umhlaba awubuyele kubanikati bawo makhosi akithi ayahlukubeteka ahlukubeta ngona lo mbuso lo bantu bayabulalana babulalana ngenxa yemhlabathi nibhizi bashiftele emadamini la kunethi uhobosho khona bohlala khona ngathi tinyamatane ninenibhizi lena nidla kamnanzi nenivale nifuna ukufunako niyaflya nje eveni kanye nalabelumbi niphathe ingubo nyalo ntaweni ngathi ningcono lana nalokwenu la siyacela bekunene ningaloku nje nibhizi nala asiketelanga nje kutonta lokuningi we are here to politics we are not here to romanticize each other we call a spade le business thengisa nibhizi nyalo nena ngathi niyabhala lana nje nithi uvumile ukuthi umhlabathi awuqhubeke kubola amabhunu awuqhubeke nale Afro Forum nale Agri SA le niviyaba yikho nje le ngiyabona bomnethu bathengiwe babatshela ama project batile lana bataqhuba project babo.
My name is Innocent Mnisi. I'm a member of the EFF and I'm from Mjindini. What I would like to tell the committee is that you need to go back to Parliament and stop wasting time. Because the land that was stolen, because the land that was stolen from black people need to be returned to those people. So there is nothing else to discuss. You are just wasting time and wasting money because you have been told what the people want. The people want their land back and nothing else. So Parliament must stop beating about the bush and do what the people want, because the people have already expressed what they want. The next thing that is going to happen, another commission of inquiry is going to be established because you have misused money or you have stolen money. You are busy flying around in aeroplanes. The money that is set aside to buy back the land, which land was initially stolen from black people, should be given to small-scale farmers so that people can farm and people can build houses. Those who are interested in mining should embark on mining enterprises. We heard what AfriForum has said here, and we also listened when there are also organizations such as Agri SA. Those people obviously are against the returning of the land to their rightful owners. So stop pretending that you are doing any good to the people, because I am sure as you are sitting there pretending to be writing something, you have already decided that this bill is going to be passed. So you are just pretending you are going through the motions as if there is something that you are doing.
Revolutionary greetings, Chairperson and the House. Hello, Kulmayo, it's Tebo Homonama, Secretary of Branch Ward 44 in Mbombela, Mjindi. Chairperson, we do not understand why Parliament is spending money on this process when there is a process to amend the Constitution. And then after amending the Constitution, this committee must bring a legislation informed by the Constitution. We made our submission into Parliament, in Parliament public hearing on the land question, and we told members of Parliament to go and amend the Constitution to allow for expropriation of all land without compensation in the custody of the state. Logo logo Freedom Charter in 1976 logo wabhalwa South Africa. So siyacela logo ukuthi akugcineke. We are concerned that the expropriation bill that you want us to make input on this legislation, that must tell us now that the Constitution allows the expropriation of all lands without compensation. This is how the state is going to expropriate the land. This is how the land is going to be disrupted, everything equal. But this is how our right to use the land is going to be protected. Black child, you are on your own. But since you are here, you must know that our position remains the same. We want all land to be expropriated without compensation. This is the only way we will address colonial and land dispossession and the legacy of apartheid. We did not give Parliament a mandate to find a way to pay for land that was stolen. Our land is not commodity and should not be for sale. Amandla.
Amandla. George Mazibugolo from Ward 12 in Mbombela. So, comrades and leadership, ngapo phambili, siyacela ukuthi umhlaba ube kithi. Njengoba ngikhuluma so manje la ngiqhamuka khona emaplazini ngala eWard 12. Bantu baxoshwa ngiyo le DA yona le isikhulumelako. Abadla abatola la khona kumanje njengoba ngitalana ngiqhamuke nalabanye ngibalifta bangibuta ukuthi fighters, where are we going to? Because manje siqoshiwe amabhuna siqoshile ngale kuWard 12. Mina ngibe kuWard 12 inhlupheko lengale ngiyacabanga iDA yakwade ngale kuWard 12 futhi kwendekalana amabhuna sicinzetela. We need the land as soon as possible. Sekele ku jump around ngathi asiboni. Hambani kuWard 12 ngale emaplazini to those farmers ngale kuWard 12. Niyobona ukuthi iDA isendane AfroForum. Thank you very much. Let's not waste time.
My name is George Mazibugo. I am from Ward 12, Mbombela. It is a farming area. I want to bring to your attention that people in Ward 112 have been evicted by farmers. I invite you to go there and witness this for yourselves. The DA knows exactly what is going on in that ward. So does AfriForum. They are exploiting our people and evicting our people. So stop dilly-dallying and address the issues.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Chairperson, for the opportunity. My name is Stanley Novella. I'm here representing the DA. Chairperson, I think there's something that I need to clarify moving forward here. One is that the DA is absolutely committed to the idea of land reform and transformation. That one must be clear, Chairperson. And it's extremely important to understand that the main purpose of the Expropriation Bill is to give government the power to expropriate property for public purpose and in the public interest. That being said, Chairperson, we support the need for a new Expropriation Act to replace the existing one. But Chairperson, there are few concerns that I want to raise. The first one is that the property, public purposes, and public interest are not sufficiently defined in the bill. And this could lead to a potential exploitation of the Provision Act by the officials and the politicians. The second one, Chairperson, is that property, we must also remember that it does not relate only on land. Property touch a number of things. If public purpose or public interest is shown, Chairperson, the property can be expropriated. I'm talking this based on the current draft as it stands now. Expropriation without compensation, however, relates purely to land. But this bill is not about land. Again, Chairperson, let me also raise the issue of intangible properties. Because I'm worried because this issue, it's only raised once on the bill. And there is no clear indication as to how the process will be followed to expropriate intangible properties. Lastly, Chairperson, if I'm still on time, I would like to add that the bill does not adequately deal with the issue of
Your time is up.
Thanks, Chair.
My name is Salim. From 113, I'm representing the EFF. I'm even afraid to greet you. After 27 years of democracy, we are still sitting discussing the issue of land, while it was supposed to be prioritized from the beginning. As EFF, Chairperson, we do not understand why Parliament is spending money on this process when there is process to amend the Constitution. And then after amending the Constitution, this committee must bring us legislation informed by the Constitution